should know. I have never really liked you at all. I cannot hide it anymore. I've been thinking about the future, trying to forget about the past. So many ways that I could change for the better. Don't
This is a true crime discussions channel. We speculate. This is all just speculation. Because it's true crime, it's for mature audiences only. There will be no children allowed, no exceptions. Everything on this channel falls under fair use. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's free. Hey y'all, trying to fix my camera that Abraham gave me. Maybe that'll work. Y'all see these lines? I don't like them. It's speculating so that it's normal. Anyways, hope y'all are doing. Hope y'all are doing good. Hope you stay warm. Curious Christine, thank you for becoming a member. That was so very sweet and supportive of you. All right, now ghost in the house. Ghost in the box, Ghost in the Shell. What's that show? Ghost in the Shell. Thank you so much, Curious Christine, for becoming a member. I greatly appreciate the support. Let me grab the crazy train and pick you up on the way to Speculation Station. Thank you so much for the support. I hope you like the videos you'll now have access to. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate that. I hope y'all are doing good. Hope y'all are staying warm. I know, right? You got those lines too, do you? Indy, good to see you. Abella's good to see you. Parabola, good to see you. Good to see you, Mustang. And Karen is here. Good to see you. Hannah UK, thank you to my mods. You guys are amazing. Southern Cats, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Miss King of Anything, good to see you, and thank you for being here. Texas Woman, good to see you. These poor missing children, God bless them and keep them safe in your loving arms. I know, I worry about that stuff. Carrie Myers, good to see you. And there's always more. Every time I look, there's always more that I haven't even talked about or haven't even shown. It's really sad. One sunny day, it's good to see you, love. Cindy from sunny South Florida, good to see you. And thank you for being here. Texas Woman, Jenny Jen, A1 from day one, good to see you. Good to see you. Scratch the Paint, good to see you. Thank you for being here. I'm so glad that y'all are here with me. It is snowing. I don't know if y'all saw. I'll show you some of the pictures. I got a video uploading right now of us feeding the geese and playing in the snow. Curious has been here a long time. Y'all have all been here. Everybody in here has been here for quite a while. Hey, Edith. I didn't see you. I was watching Violin Phoenix. Oh, yeah. Mr. Speculating watches those street performers and stuff. It's pretty cool. I was watching these videos, and I was listening to a streamer and watching these videos. I'll pull them up. Have y'all seen what happened in Russia? I was telling Mr. Speculating like how much snow they got, and he was like, yeah, babe, but it's Russia. And I'm like, yeah, but it's still a lot, like still a lot of snow. So I figured we would watch them real quick. Some of them. I got two here. That's a sign, like, you know, the signs that are beside the road that are like, you know, slow down or stoplight or whatever, that is completely covered up with snow. Indy, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh my goodness, let me see if I can see what it is, because I like to see what they are. Hold on, let me access my live. I don't know why this worst crime video keeps trying to pop up. I'm going to need you to mute. I don't want to hear myself speaking. Oh, it's okay. You got the #1 with the crown, though. You're #1 speaker. You're #1 talker today. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate the support. That really helps out so very much, and I really appreciate it. Let me get you an amazing.
Amazing.
That was super amazing of you to do that. Thank you so very much. I really, really appreciate it. That was super cool. You do rock. Snow here in Willamette Valley, Oregon. Oh, wow. You know, it was snowing in Oklahoma before it got here, so I think it's coming from that way. All right, so here's some snow in Russia right now. It says historic snow buries Russia far east, making the heaviest snowfall in 60 years on the Kamchatka Peninsula. This is what I want y'all to see. Look at that. Like, how much snow is that? Like freaking 30 feet? You're in Oklahoma? Are you okay? I saw you had some things going on. What's going on with it, Edith? My bad news. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry, Edith. I'm so sorry to hear that. And tell your daughter we're thinking about her. I'm so sorry. That's hard. I'm sorry you're going through that, sweetheart.
Ух ты, как с крыши прямо.
Look at the kids. Oh my God, I'd be scared they'd die. Do you see them kids sliding down? Look at that shit.
Ух ты, как с крыши прямо. Это же 4-й этаж, ужас.
It says they've declared a state of emergency with snow depths over 20 feet in many areas.
Зато весело.
Ну вы даете.
Oh my God. Did y'all see that shit? Holy fuck, look at that. It's like just snowing in between two buildings. Look at, that's how much snow stacked up between those two buildings. Oh my God. That is insane. And then I saw this one. Look at that picture, y'all, of that snow on top of them buildings. This is from 2 days ago. Well, what are we doing? Oh, that's a happy Cooper get off it right there. Was it AI? Okay. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. They were AI? Okay. Well, that's insane.
From January 19th to January 21st, 2026, a powerful winter system dominated vast regions of the Russian Federation, producing extreme snowfall in the Far East and reinforcing a deep cold spell across central and western parts of the country. The 3-day period became one of the most disruptive phases of the winter season, affecting daily.
He's trying to cut his car out of the snow. Some of these may be AI. I don't know. Carrie, good to see you. I don't know if I said hey to you, my love. The kids in crashing snow were AI. The rest is real. Okay. Thank you for that.
Daily life, transport, and public safety across thousands of kilometers.
По балконам люди там еще метет по чуть-чуть. Как метет? Поземка. Вон, смотри.
The most severe conditions were recorded in Russia's Far East, particularly on the Kamchatka Peninsula. Beginning on January 19th, a succession of heavy snowstorms intensified over the region, driven by a strong low-pressure system, drawing moist air.
Do y'all see all that snow? Like, he's trying to dig it out, and all that snow is going in the background. Yeah, like, why even try? I would just go in
from the Sea of
and then
Okhotsk.
dig it out.
Snow fell continuously, accumulating at an exceptional rate. In the regional capital, Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky, meteorological authorities reported snowfall levels not seen in several decades. By January 20th,
I don't know if any of these are AI.
snow depth in some areas exceeded 2 meters, with streets, vehicles, and building entrances buried beneath compacted drifts.
Замело уже. Почти 4 метра снега. Прокопались тут. Ходить немножко.
As the snow continued, local authorities declared a state of emergency in parts of Kamchatka. Roads became impassable, and heavy machinery was deployed around the clock in an effort to clear access routes. Public transportation was partially suspended, and residents were advised to remain indoors where possible. Images and field reports showed cars almost entirely submerged, windows blocked by snowbanks, and narrow tunnels dug by hand to allow people to exit their homes.
What?
The snowfall
That's insane.
compounded an already severe winter,
Holy
following
shit.
record accumulations in December that had left.
That looks like AI. That might be AI. Yeah, there's ice. There's been ice. The driveway is like slick like ice right now. I saw the snow plows were out, and Yeah, I've heard some people are getting ice. There's no ice on the power lines right now, so hopefully we won't lose power.
The ground saturated with snow well before mid-January. By January 21st, emergency services confirmed that the heavy snow had led to fatalities.
Oh my God.
At least 2 people were killed when large masses of snow collapsed from rooftops, highlighting the structural dangers posed by prolonged accumulation. Authorities issued repeated warnings, urging residents to avoid walking near buildings and to clear roofs where possible, though conditions made such efforts difficult and hazardous.
Where do you've never seen snow even? Like you've never been in it? It's cold.
Schools, offices, and some government services in the affected areas were closed or moved online. Supply deliveries were delayed, and isolated shortages of food and essential goods were reported in remote neighborhoods. Despite the
Yeah, that's why we've got like several of the 72-hour. Hold on, I'll put myself up here. We have like several of the 72-hour like, you know, the emergency food buckets, and because of living in the RV, we've kind of gotten adapt to like things like that. We have flashlights. We camp a lot too, so you know, a lot of that stuff can be used in an emergency as well. We went and stocked up on food and stuff and tobacco, so we didn't kill anybody while we got snowed in. But yeah, it's hard, and like you can prepare for, you know, up to about a week or so, but after that, shit does get scarce. If the water's frozen, you have no water, so you got to leave the pipes running. It's a scary situation. We made snow cream this morning, which I want to let y'all know is super easy. All you got to do is put a bowl outside and collect the snow, and then add a can of sweetened condensed milk to it, and it's snow cream. The kids make it all the time. You can also add milk, vanilla, and sugar if you don't have sweetened condensed milk. Curious that we don't get ice or snow much at all, maybe once every couple of years for a short time. We all wreck cars when it happens because we're dumb to ice and snow. I know people that'll wreck cars and damn when it rains. Like in North Carolina, everybody got insane when it rained. And I'm like, y'all, it's just a little bit of rain. It was insane. But it's good to, you know, it's nice to have, you know, occasionally, but not all the time. I've seen completely covered cars in Winnipeg, and here in Victoria we had a massive snow dump in 1996. I think it was about 1996 when we got our snow. In North Carolina it was pretty deep. Hey Abraham, good to see you. Ski resorts will love it. Yeah, absolutely. A small dog died here. He fell in the snow, and by the time they took him out he passed. Oh my God. That's so sad, Abellis. Damn. You've lived in San Francisco and it's never snowed there? Hey, but you could go to the mountains there in California and see snow, couldn't you? Eventually, like maybe if you wanted to. I would think you could. I don't know how far that is from San Francisco.
Disruption. No widespread power failures were confirmed.
I know. That's
and emergency crews continued to prioritize access to hospitals, shelters, and critical infrastructure.
So you don't have to worry about it.
While Kamchatka faced historic snowfall, a different but related winter threat unfolded across western and central Russia. During the same period, from January 19th through 21st, a surge of Arctic air advanced southward over the European territory of Russia. Snowfall continued intermittently across large areas, but the defining feature of this phase was the intensifying cold.
Ничего себе.
I don't know if it's AI, but that shit's bad. He found his car.
Meteorological services reported that central regions were entering one of the coldest intervals of the winter season.
Yeah, that's definitely AI. That might not be. That looks like AI. Look at that shit. Look how tall that snow is. My God. Oh, yeah. If y'all don't mind, twinkle, twinkle over to the thumbs up, and we'll go ahead and get into what we were going to talk about today. Let me find that.
Come on, players, stop hating. Stop hating. Start participating. Start participating, Star. Come on, twinkle, twinkle, baby. Twinkle, twinkle.
Twinkle, twinkle, baby. All right, let's get into, now that we've talked about the snow, let's get into what we're going to talk about today. Miss King, anything good to see you? You know, Miss King said, I live in Southern California and we can go to the mountains and the beach in the same day. That's super cool. I can't even tell what drift is real and what is AI. It's becoming a problem. Yeah. I know, right? Are you getting snow? Is it supposed to snow down there where you are? It's pouring sleet and 22 degrees. Here it's supposed to get like down to -1 degree, I think, later this week. Crazy. Okay, so today we're going to go over these court documents. Y'all, there's like over 60 documents. I was trying to upload it to Patreon, and I was trying to like download them all, and when I got it like 50, I was like, okay, this is a bit much. So what we're going to do is just pull them up and go through them. And I'm just going to put them on the page because like some of them you have to click over in order to see them and things like that. It's insane. Hold on. All right, now I can pull it up. Actually, now I can pull it up. Nope, wrong page. Hannah said we may get y'all's weather next week. You can keep it. It's pretty bad. Like I haven't seen snow like this in a while, but you know, we just moved out here to Arkansas, so hey UA Crimson Tide, good to see you. Toasty 78 there, so you probably ain't gonna get anyone. Hey Cara, good to see you. Yeah, we went out in the snow too. I'm uploading a video for members later of Mr. Speculating playing in the snow. Okay, so we're going to go to the mental health court felony first. See, if you click on this case number, right, it'll pull it up. And then you can see the charges. If you keep scrolling, look at all these documents. These are all documents. Right here, that's like the paper icon, and it tells you how many. All documents. So we're going to go through them and look at them, and then we'll go over the misdemeanor charge. This one is a notice of confidential information with court filing. So this is the first one. So pursuant to Florida Rule of Judicial Administration, they're filing a probable cause affidavit that contains confidential information, and they wanted to prevent the disclosure of information or records that could locate or harass a victim or a victim's family, or which could disclose confidential or privileged information of a victim. So they had to file that document saying basically to keep it quiet. What, you want a drink? And your dip. Okay, hold on. I think your dip is in my book bag. There's that. Yeah, look in there. I can't open drinks with nails on. Oh my gosh. Listen, Linda.
Thank you.
You're not welcome. Okay.
Snowball in the face.
You better not hit me with a snowball in the face. There's so many for us to go through. Roll Tide. How do we get the post office box? I got to get it. I got to get it because I don't want to give out my actual address. Yeah, money, we got to get caught up on a couple of bills and money's been tight. See, I think I'm going to draw the names at the end of the month and then show what you've won after. Actually, you know what? I'll go ahead and do what I've got now for the one at the end of the month, because I'm also working on like this to try to do in the giveaway. It's just like, it's a box with the logo, and then there's like a little poster thing that I'm going to make that's like mine, except it'll have, this is one I made a while ago for the Amanita muscaria. But the one that I'm going to make will have the allegedly speculating logo, and we'll probably do another one in February, because there's people that want to send stuff, and I don't have the funding to get a PO box right now. So when I do, we'll do another one. I think that's what we're going to do. Is this the fourth? Yeah. Okay. So this is the next document, and this one was filed also on November 5th. So all of these documents I'm about to show you were all filed on November 5th. I have to check my mailbox. It's like a lock box, so I'll go check it in a little bit. I think today is Saturday, right, my love? Yeah, today's Saturday, Cara. That's fine. Others sent stuff. Can I send it there? Well, no, only Abraham sent stuff and my mods. I'll get with you, Curious Christine. And you gotta, I'm working on it. I'll try to figure something out and get with you on that tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, I'll get with you. Email me. I think it's amazing how large Canada is, as long as the US. Okay, wait a minute. I think it's amazing how large Canada is. It is as long as the US, to think Canada goes from the East Coast to the West Coast. Yeah, that is pretty interesting. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to get a PO box. It's just they cost like $100. Okay, so this is the next document that was filed on the 4th. Sorry. This is for, what is this? Saying that she, oh, it's a booking report. Duh. Saying that she was arrested. Lord, forgive me. So it says, like up here, it says page 104. And I figured out after I had uploaded a bunch of them that you have to click over and it'll show more documents, right? So it tells us information about Passha. Let me tell you about Passha. Passha Davis is schizophrenic, and she was with a man, and they had a daughter named Gabby, and Passha would occasionally choose to be homeless. And this, they were homeless at one point, and then Passha got arrested. And when she was asked where her daughter was, she said she didn't know or would not tell, et cetera, et cetera. Now she's being held in jail since October, or November, actually, as we can see on the arrest affidavit, because she won't tell where her daughter is. Gabby's father and Passha's ex has been out here trying to figure out where Gabby is, like really, really hard. His name is Gordon Terrelonge. And there's a video I wanted to share with y'all today. We're all over the place. There's a video where he shows her like acting weird. Let me go over here. Jump over here. I didn't see it on here. Damn it. All right, let's just go back over here for right now. I'll find it in a minute. So the probable cause affidavit reads that on October 29th of 2025, Gabby's dad, Gordon, contacted the Margaret Police Department to ascertain the whereabouts of his daughter. He discovered that the defendant, Passha Davis, was arrested on unrelated charges on October 17th of 2025. He was concerned as to Gabby's whereabouts because the defendant is the biological mother and sole caretaker of Gabby. Let's see what the next page says. So at that point, a multi-jurisdictional investigation involving the Margaret Criminal Investigations Division, the FBI, the FDLE, the DCF, and other agencies throughout South Florida towards the Orlando area began to search for Gabby. On October 31st, or Halloween of 2025, Detective Rivera and I made contact with the defendant at the Paul Rain Detention Facility. While interviewing the defendant, she advised that she had no knowledge of Gabby's whereabouts and that she should be with her father. Gordon, Passha, one of them is redacted. However, redacted, Passha denied having seen Gabby since May of 2025. No. Okay, so let me take a second. Passha said that Gabby should be with Gordon, Gabby's father. He denied seeing her since May of 2025. There are so many beautiful places to see. Okay, look, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. That's not my intention. The people who have sent me stuff have my address because they're moderators and they have been very close to me for like some years now. That's the issue. I don't want to put my actual address out here. So that's why I have to get a P.O. box. It's nothing against you personally, but I just can't be putting my actual address out here on the internet. So I have to get a P.O. box because I can't give everybody my address. Don't really want to. But see, I'm kind of working on things and trying to talk to the lady at my post office because she might let me have stuff sent there and just bring it to my house because it's relatively close. So that's the problem. Like, I can't just drop my address out here on the internet for everybody to see. I am working on getting a P.O. box, but like right now, I just use change to get gas, which I'm not saying that because they're like, I don't want money. Like, there's not even a way to send me money. I don't do PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, and all of that. Like, I got it. We got it figured out. We're good. I just don't have an extra $80 to $100 to get the P.O. box right now. So as soon as I do, I will. And I'm not even like, I'm trying to kind of hold off on actually sending the stuff out until I have everything. So yes, I have known Abraham for years. I've known Abraham for a very, very long time, and that's all I'm going to talk about it. I'm sorry if you're upset or your feelings are hurt. Like I said, when I get a P.O. box, I'll drop the address. Continuing with the document. In the course of the ongoing investigation, the last known proof of life discovered by law enforcement was on June 21st of 2025, wherein the defendant was observed exiting a Walmart located at the address in Hollywood, Florida. Upon further investigation, it was determined that the defendant is homeless and suffers from mental illness and substance abuse issues. All known family members reported that from birth, Gabby has always been seen accompanied by her mother. However, no one has had contact with them or seen Gabby since December of 2024 by the victim's aunt, which is redacted. At this moment, the whereabouts of Gabby remain unknown despite law enforcement exhausting all family members, locations, associates, and areas that the victim was known to be with the defendant. The defendant has failed to provide any reasonable explanation as to the whereabouts of her minor child. The defendant has also failed to provide adequate services and supervision necessary to maintain her physical and mental health. So they're trying like really hard to find the location of Gabby. They're holding her in jail, and there's like a $10,000 reward at this point for the location of Gabby. And just for good measure, I wanted to share the photo, her missing poster. Now, this was all happening in like October, right? And now we're in January of 2026, and there's still no information, nothing on the location of Gabby, which is very, very concerning. because it's been like 8 months and the mother will not speak as to what her location is. And having just spoken about Melodee Buzzard and everything that happened there, it's very concerning and very reminiscent of that case. Hold on, I wanted to show y'all her missing poster. So at this point, if anybody's feeling upset, my advice would be to email me and I'll talk to you there. But we're gonna, oops, wrong one. Hold on. Well, I guess we can do it here. So this is the missing poster. Her name is Gabrielle Patricia Terrelonge, and it's been since October 29th of 2025, and she's missing from Margaret, Florida. She was born June 25th of 2015. She has black hair and brown eyes. She weighs 100 pounds. She's 4'8". She's a female. She's an African American. The Terrelonge family has ties to South and Central Florida and may be homeless. And remember, we heard the father saying that there was also ties to California. The FBI Miami field office and the Margaret Police Department in Florida are asking the public's assistance in locating missing 10-year-old Gabrielle Patricia Terrelonge. She was reported missing in late October of 2025 after it was discovered that the girl's mother had been incarcerated in Florida. Law enforcement authorities are seeking any information about Gabrielle's current location and condition. If you have any information concerning this person, please contact your local FBI or the nearest American embassy or consulate. It's super concerning, and I don't understand why the mother won't speak, because the mother could get out of jail if she would just speak on it. So again, very reminiscent of Melodee Buzzard. All right, the last page of the probable cause affidavit reads, therefore, the investigation revealed that on one or more occasion on or about the 21st day of June, 2025 to present in the county and state aforesaid, while being a caregiver to Gabby, Patricia Davis did willfully or by culpable negligence neglect Gabby by failing or admitting to provide the care, supervision, and services necessary to maintain the physical and mental health of Gabby. That a prudent person would consider essential for the well-being of Gabby without causing great bodily harm, permanent disability, or permanent disfigurement to Gabby, contrary to the statutes. At this time, based on the facts and statements provided, I respectfully submit that probable cause exists to support the arrest of the defendant for the offense of child neglect without bodily harm in violation of the statute. Now, when she got hit with this, she was already in jail on the misdemeanor larceny charge for stealing from Dollar Tree. And the fact that she was stealing from Dollar Tree tells me that she might have been having some type of episode at the time. There's a lot of these that, this isn't one of them, but you're going to see where she refuses stuff in jail. So this is hard to read. Probable cause determination for Passha Davis says probable cause to believe the defendant has committed and shall be held for the offense of neglect without bodily harm. Written on it is that there's a $100,000 bond with 10 days to obtain SA mental health evaluation. So they wanted her to get a mental health evaluation, and they were putting in documentation to do that. Oh no, let me pull it up. Okay, so this is going to be, it's just one page, and it reads that it's the state of Florida versus Passha Davis. Child neglect. This cause having come to be heard on me upon the state's request at the first appearance hearing and the court being fully advised and in the premises thereof, it is hereby ordered and adjudged that the state's request is granted. The defendant shall have no contact with the minor victim known as Gabby, subject to orders and recommendation of dependency court if applicable. All right. So, look, man, I'm not trying to be mean at all, okay? But if you can't understand why I'm not just going to drop my address on the internet, I don't know what to tell you. I would love to have the things that you made that I'm sure are absolutely gorgeous. I would love to have anything that y'all make and want to send me that are absolutely gorgeous. I know y'all do work like that. And I know that you put your heart and soul in it. And I think that is a beautiful thing. And I love it. However, I can't just drop my address out here for the whole entire world to see, sweetheart, because there's crazy people out here. And while I have weapons of mass destruction to protect my household, I don't really want to have to use them or explain to the police why I blew somebody away that was trying to stalk me on my yard. Okay. That's all. I'm in a financial situation right now because we just moved. We had to make 2 trips back to North Carolina, and that cost several $1,000s. Okay. So the issue is I have to get caught up on my bills. Okay. Or else I will not have electricity to come live. Okay. And as soon as I do, I'll get a P.O. box that I will put out here for the whole world to have. And you can send me these beautiful things that you put your heart and soul in. And I would love to give them away. I would love to. I think it's great. And I think it's beautiful. And it is a blessing to be able to give stuff away that you guys make. Okay. The problem is I can't give out my address. I can get a P.O. box. I just don't have the money to do it right now. And like I said, I don't even think I'll have everything together at the end of the month. So what I'm going to do is the drawing at the end of the month. And then when I have everything together, probably around Valentine's Day, I'm going to show everybody what they won and I'm going to send it. And by Valentine's Day, before Valentine's Day, I should have my P.O. box and I can add whatever you want to send to give away. Or I can do another giveaway later on after Valentine's Day if you don't have the ability to send it by the time I get the P.O. box. That's the best I got. That's the best I can do. I'm not trying to upset you, and I'm done talking about it. I don't know how else to explain that. But again, I appreciate anything that you would like to do to help out my channel, and that means the world to me. And I'm going to leave it at that because I can't keep talking about it. If you would like to talk about it more, please feel free to email me. All right, that was an order. Now, also on November 5th, we have a file for a restraining order. Like, there's just so much for us to go through. This is a pretrial services supervision order. The defendant shall be released forthwith upon receipt of bond from custody and shall report to the Broward County Sheriff's Office. Bond was set at $100,000 for the charge of neglecting a child without great bodily harm. So she was placed, it says the defendant shall be placed on level 2 with electric monitoring at a rate of $5 per day, unless indigent. And GPS active exclusion zones. The defendant shall submit to a substance abuse and mental health evaluation within 10 calendar days from release. And the defendant shall not consume alcohol or legal drugs or intoxicants. It shall submit to random drug test monthly. Random times per monthly. I'm sorry. And then she could not have any contact with Gabby. I don't understand why they're saying you can't have contact with Gabby if they don't know where she's at. I don't know how she bonded out on a $100,000 bond either, because that would tell me she has money. And if she has money, why is she running around being homeless? Unless Gordon bonded her out. Oh, dang it. Hold on. I got to pull it back up because I closed the wrong tab. Unless Gordon bonded her out. Which I mean, he might do because she has the ability to tell him where his daughter is. And so he might have bonded her out to see if she would tell him where her daughter is. Their daughter is. Okay. Why did you do that? You should not do that. I mean, I definitely can't buy them from you. What? What? How about don't borrow money to make them that you have to pay back? Like, what do you mean? What? Gifts with yarn I begged and borrowed and stole, and I'm saying you told me to make. I didn't tell you to make a damn thing. I'm sorry, but no, ma'am. And I'm about done with that. ERFLA and Roberta, good to see you. Yeah, she had to get $10,000 in order to bond out on a $100,000 bond, which is absolutely insane. I would think. Hold on. Let's see. What do I This is with a bail bondsman, right? If she used a bail bondsman, and with her history of going homeless, I don't know that the bondsman would have bonded her out. Typically 10%. And just because sometimes my brain's all over the place, I want to make sure. Yeah, $10,000. So where the fuck did she get $10,000? If she had $10,000, and that would tell me that maybe she didn't do, because we've been discussing that we've been discussing that we were concerned that she traded her child, that she could have trafficked her child or traded her child for substances or money, right? But if she's got $10,000 and the ability to bond out, then she didn't need money. And the fact that she won't tell where the child is, knowing that she could get out of jail, is concerning, because that would tell me again, I mean, it's just pointing me down the road of Melodee Buzzard, which again is concerning. Let's see what's next. What is this one? Pretrial supervision order. Okay, we're going to go over here. So this is an order in the County of Broward for the criminal division saying that she shall reduce. Okay, she shall receive a mental health screen and shall be given any and all appropriate medications. That was the 5th of November, 2025. Now we're going to the 10th of November. This one's a 3-page document. This one is the state of Florida versus Passha Davis, demand for disclosure of impeaching information. Comes now the accused, Passha Davis, by and through the undersigned counsel, and demands that the state of Florida to reveal the following. 1, all material information in the state's possession or control, constructive or actual, that tends to negate the defendant's guilt. 2, all material evidence or information in the state's possession or control, constructive or actual, that is probably material and exculpatory, regardless of whether such information is deemed to be the work product of the prosecutor or otherwise subject to discovery as public record. Any oral or written recorded statements made by any persons to the police, to the assistant state attorney, to a victim advocate, or other employee of the office of the state attorney, or to the grand jury that tends to establish the innocence of the defendant, or tends to impeach the credibility or contradict the testimony of any witnesses whom the state will call during this case. Any reports made to the police that tend to establish innocence of the defendant or tend to impeach the credibility or contradict the testimony of any witnesses whom the state will call as witnesses during this case. So they're getting ready to take it to jury trial. And she has gone to court about it. The names and addresses of witnesses who might establish the innocence of the defendant or impeach the credibility or contradict the testimony of any witnesses whom the state calls any information or material that tends to establish innocence of the defendant. So this is definitely filed by her side, I think, the defense. Any scientific or medical report that tends to establish the innocence of the defendant. They're basically entering this to say that anything that could prove that she's innocent or that is to her credibility shall be administered or basically entered into court. Any and all prosecutions, investigations, or possible prosecutions pending, which could be brought against the witness, and any probationary, parole, or deferred prosecution status of the witness. This is just a normal document to try to get all the information on everything. As grounds in support of said motion, the defendant will allege as follows: the evidence of any such offers or representations which have been made by the state or which the state will make at any future time of witnesses for the state shall be discoverable pursuant to due process clause of the United States Constitution, the amendments and the Florida Constitutions, and the withholding of any such evidence constitutes a denial of the accused herein of his constitutionally protected rights, the due process and fundamental fairness, as well as his right to effectively cross-examine and impeach the witness against him as guaranteed by the United States Constitution. Wherefore, the defendant moves this honorable court to grant this motion. Her public defender is named Gordon Weeks. Let's see something. I'm looking for a video for y'all real quick. That's not it. I really want to show y'all this damn video, and now I'm not finding it. And I just saw it this morning. This appears to be the grandmother. I need this to take a second, and I want to play a video for y'all because I'm just on the verge of just deleting this live and ending it. So let me just play a video and step away for a minute so I don't have to let my emotions take control. I really want to show y'all that one video. I'm going to work on finding it, but we're going to play this and then we'll get back to the documents. This appears to show the grandmother of the 10-year-old Margaret girl that was missing since late June. It says that Thursday that she is desperate for answers and faulted the courts after law enforcement questioned the child's mother in a jail cell but could not locate the girl. This is an ad. Hold on. Okay, nope. We're going to pause and we're going to get the volume. Thank you. All right, y'all.
Right now.
Well, right now at 4:30, a family's heartfelt plea to find a 10-year-old little girl.
Little Gabrielle was last seen June 21st with her mother in Hollywood. Yesterday, her mother was arrested, but Gabrielle was not with her. Local 10's Rosh Lowe live in Hollywood with more on this. Rosh.
Yeah, we're live here where she was last seen back in June, just to show you how this case remains so active. In the middle of our interview, via FaceTime with the grandmother, she lives up in Central Florida, deputies arrive at her house. This afternoon, everyone is asking the question, where is this little girl?
If I get a hold of Passha, I would probably commit suicide with her because I would try to strangle her to death because she knows where that child is. She's too calm.
Jonette Vassell, the grandmother of the missing Margate girl, 10-year-old Gabrielle Terrelonge, speaks to us from her home in Central Florida.
This is concerning what she just said. If I could get a hold of her, I would probably try to self-delete with her because she's too calm. She knows where the child is. And we've heard Gordon, the father, say that she's acting weird and she's too calm. and that he fears the worst. And considering that Passha has been in jail for 8 months now because she won't reveal where the child is, tells me that something nefarious has happened. It's beautiful to watch. Hey, Sue and Wilkins, good to see you.
It's my heart. I can't sleep. I can't function.
She says she helped raise Gabby until she was 6 years old. Gabby was last seen in Hollywood in late June. Jeanette says her son Gordon had a tracker on the phone of the child's mother. He was that concerned. Mom, Passha Davis, but he lost contact.
He had discovered and thrown out the phone, and he had no way of tracking her or communicate.
He found out Passha was arrested.
Can y'all understand what she's saying? I'll go back through what she's saying if you can't understand what she's saying, because I could. I just want to make sure y'all can.
In Margate in mid-October for, among other things, resisting arrest without violence and using a false identity. And that's when he asked police about the whereabouts of his daughter.
Where's my daughter? They said they didn't know she had a daughter.
Cops questioned Passha Davis in jail, and she denied knowing where the child is and thought Gabby was with her father. No one knows where this child is. The FBI is involved. In fact, in the middle of our interview, deputies arrived to speak with the grandmother.
I am trying to find her, and I would do anything in my power if I could get to that mother and choke it out of her, I would.
Cops say Passha Davis is homeless and suffers from mental health and substance abuse issues. Her grandma says they try to get custody of the little girl.
I tried my best to get you away from your mom, but the court system failed you and they fail us.
Strong words there.
All right, I'm going to play back what
His heartfelt plea to find a 10-year-old little girl.
Little Gabrielle was last seen June 21st with her mother in Hollywood yesterday. Her mother was arrested, but Gabrielle was not with her. Local 10's Rosh Lowe live in Hollywood with more on this. Rosh.
Yeah, we're live here where she was last seen back in June, just to show you how this case remains so active. In the middle of our interview, via FaceTime with the grandmother, she lives up in Central Florida, deputies arrive at her house. This afternoon, everyone is asking the question, where is this little girl?
If I get a hold of Passha, I would probably commit suicide with her because I would try to strangle her to death because she knows where that child is.
She said if I got a hold of her, I would probably try to self-delete. I would strangle her to death because she knows where that child is.
She's too calm.
Jonette Vassell, the grandmother of the missing Margate girl, 10-year-old Gabrielle Terrelonge, speaks to us from her home in Central Florida.
It breaks my heart. I can't sleep. I can't function.
She says she helped.
She said it breaks her heart. She can't sleep. She can't function. Look at her.
Raised Gabby until she was 6 years old. Gabby was last seen in Hollywood in late June. Jeanette says her son Gordon had a tracker on the phone of the child's mother. He was that concerned. Mom, Passha Davis, but he lost contact.
He had discovered and thrown out the phone, and he had no way of tracking her or communicate.
He found out.
He had it.
And discovered and thrown out the
Mom, Passha Davis, but he lost contact.
He had discovered and thrown out the phone, and he had no way of tracking her or communicate.
He found out.
Sounded like she said he had a phone and she threw out the phone, and then he had no way of tracking her.
Passha was arrested in Margate in mid-October for, among other things, resisting arrest without violence and using a false identity. And that's when he asked police about the whereabouts of his daughter.
Where's my daughter? They said they didn't know she had a daughter.
Cops questioned Passha Davis in jail, and she denied knowing where the child is and thought Gabby was with her father. No one knows where this child is. The FBI is involved. In fact, in the middle of our interview, deputies arrived to speak with the grandmother.
I am trying to find her, and I would do anything in my power if I could get to that mother.
So,
and thought Gabby was with her father. No one knows where this child is. The FBI is involved. In fact, in the middle of our interview,
in the middle of the interview, they came up and spoke to her. The detectives did. Y'all, Gordon has his own channel, and we're gonna go over there in just a second. The dad has his own channel on YouTube, so we're about to go over there. Okay, this is her talking to a detective through her door, and this is what she's saying.
Deputies arrived to speak with the grandmother.
I am trying to find her, and I would do anything in my power if I could get to that mother and choke it out of her, I would.
Cops say,
damn. She said, I'm going to choke this bitch until she tells me where she's at. Yeah, that's what she said. Okay, he put the Life 360 and she got rid of the phone. Okay, thank you for that, because I couldn't quite tell. I appreciate that.
Passha Davis is homeless and suffers from mental health and substance abuse issues. Her grandma says they try to get custody of the little girl.
I tried my best to get you away from your mom, but the court system failed you and they fail us.
Okay. Now, I know it's not illegal to be homeless with a child, okay? But they did file charges for child neglect because she kept taking the child and being homeless with the child. And so that's what she's being held in jail for neglect of the child, because she did not do what was in the best for the child for Gabrielle, as far as mental health needs, physical needs, and all of that. So if they can file these charges for her being homeless, why were they not able to give custody to the grandmother? And I thought the sister had custody. I thought Gordon's sister had custody. No, this is a different case. You're good, love. It's good to see you. Hey, Julie, good to see you. I hope she is too, but it's not looking good. Grandma speaks directly to her granddaughter at the end of the tape, saying the court failed you, indicating she knows she's still alive. I don't know if that's she knows it for a profound fact or if it's just her hoping, but I hope so. I hope she is. I hope she's still alive.
Strong words there at the end of the interview. A couple of notes here. You know, the grandma reminds us that her son was the one who told police about the daughter, about the fact that she has been missing for so long. The grandmother is still very concerned. She is hoping and praying that Gabby is somewhere out there this evening, and she wanted to pass a message along to Gabby that her grandmother loves her. If you know where this child is this evening, pick up the phone and call Crime Stoppers. 954-493-TIPS is your number. I'll have more of that interview tonight at 6 o'clock. For now, I'm live in Hollywood. Rosh Lowe, Local 10.
I want to show y'all something that's kind of pissing me off. This is Gordon. This is Gabby's dad. This case was just featured on Nancy Grace. There's news articles out here left and right about this case. Do you see under his name right here? Gordon's 1 subscriber. This man who's out here on the news, on Nancy Grace, on all these channels, has 1 subscriber. The only person that can give us the information that we need most, you know, he's the one that's there. He's the one that knows the situation, knows the mother, knows the daughter, and he's got 1 damn subscriber. This is from 1 month ago. It's got 30 views. I dropped his link in chat if y'all want to subscribe, and I did just subscribe. So he's got to GoFundMe. Let me see. Oh, damn it.
Support can help uncover the truth and reunite a family. Join the search to find a missing daughter. The search for Gabrielle has left a family heartbroken. Your support can help uncover the truth and reunite a family. Help find Gabrielle. Donate now. Join the search to find a missing daughter. Join the search to find a missing daughter.
Do we not have a description? Hold on. I can't see it, but we'll look it up before we go. This is the video, the only video he has up.
Today, I decided to make a post about my missing daughter because all the false information out there saying that, okay, I didn't try to save my daughter. Well, let me correct some of that information, especially from people who say they're credible your information is credible, and they're using half the facts to try to criticize me as a father, which I understand I failed because I didn't succeed on getting my daughter.
Okay. I mean, we understand that. We understand that there was some shit going on and he didn't have custody and maybe he should have. Okay. But what does that have to do with finding her? Like, why are we nailing this man to a cross because he didn't have custody of his child? We need to find her. No doubt.
Before they end up missing, DCF called me. It was me who went down to wherever their location was and took them back to Orlando while I was attempting to try to get my daughter from her because DCF did grant me custody that night. I went to jail the next morning because Passha's a narcissist and she literally started a whole scene with me because she did not want me to take Gabby. Okay? I went to jail. I got incarcerated, lost 2 jobs on the street or after I get out of jail with literally no help. But everybody wants to criticize me. The whole time I'm just trying to fix myself up so I can take her from her mother. All her mother was doing was hiding the whole time. And I'm being criticized, said I failed. Well, guess what? I attempted and I did fail. But until you get the facts, saying stuff that you don't even know half the truth, you just criticizing me as a person because you think it's easy to criticize somebody in a situation that literally tried everything and it didn't work.
Let me just say that if he was incarcerated, right, and then he gets out and he tries to get custody of his child, that's not something that's very easy. In order to even get, you can't get legal aid for custody. And in order to even get a lawyer to try to get custody, and that's if somebody is willing to give custody, you need $3,000. $3,000. This man had just gotten out of jail, hadn't even got a job probably yet, a good one, and damn sure didn't have $3,000 in the bank. And despite that, he knew what was going on. He tried to get his sister to get custody, who had custody. From what I understand, his grandmother or his mother was involved, the child's grandmother. And I don't think we need to be going after this man. A lot of people don't understand how hard that shit really is and how much money it takes. He did contact DCF, which is what he should have done in that situation. If you can't afford to fight her for custody because you don't just have $3,000 to fucking $7,000 lying around like most of us don't, then the next best thing to do, if you know that she's homeless and on the street, was to call DCF. He did try. I'm trying really hard to find that video of her in the hotel room. There's a video that he records of Passha standing in a hotel room, and Pasha saying, "Who are you? Are you really Gordon?" And Gordon's like, "Pasha, you know who I am. You know who this is." I can't find it now to save my life, but it just kind of shows her mental state and how it was kind of off the rails. And then if he goes to jail and finds out when he gets out that his daughter's missing, I mean, I don't know what else he could have done. People say not go to jail, but it's not that easy sometimes.
Sister, she came in to help because I told her I needed her help. Okay, fool? My sister didn't go to save her on her own. When she was sleeping on the street, I called my sister and was with my sister, the one taking her off the street with my sister. So while my sister's telling you she tried to save her, guess what? She wouldn't be able to save her without me there. She wouldn't have no idea, no whereabouts, where they are. So before you judge me, just remember, this is not the first time I reported Passha and my daughter missing, okay? Couple years.
Yeah, he talked about that. A couple of years ago when Passha was pregnant, he reported them missing and they were located. ER Florida said 5,000 here in Florida, and you have to go to mediation mandatory. Yep, and you got to have money for that. I believe him too. Yep.
Years back, I did it before, and I was the one going through this over and over and over again. Okay, so yes, I did fail because this has gone on way too long, but I done took every extra step. It gets to a point where not only did I fail, but the system behind me failed me because my daughter, the whole time, the DCF police, they all knew the situation. And they told me when they were putting me in jail because the night I'll go back over the information. The night of November, I want to say November around Thanksgiving of 2024, DCF calls me in the middle of the night, two in the morning, and tells me they found Passha sleeping in an abandoned car with my daughter. Okay, I went down there 3 in the morning and they gave me custody, and I took Gabby to Orlando. Okay, that morning when we got off the bus in Orlando.
So the cops knew, I mean, from what he's explaining, the cops knew the situation. The cops probably knew who Passha was because they tend to know who the homeless people are and things like that in their area. And especially if she's carrying around a child with her, I'm sure the police knew who these people were. They call this man at 2 o'clock in the damn morning, and this man picks up the phone, and I'm positive the conversation was like, hey, Pasha's sleeping in a car with your daughter in an abandoned car. I need you to get down here right now, and I need you to come pick your daughter up. And this man's got to get up out of bed. He might not have a vehicle. He's got to figure out how the hell he's going to get to the police station. He picks his daughter up. He has custody, and he gets them on a bus back to Orlando. Okay, I really, this is, I know a lot of time there's a lot of deadbeat parents out there, but I don't think that's what this man is at all. I think this man is a man trying to do the best he can, and he's trying to keep Passha and Gabrielle in a place where he can track them. He's put Life 360 on their phone. He's tried to call the police, and when he did call the police, Passha saying, this, whatever happened, he's aggressive, he's abusive, et cetera, and he ends up going to jail because nobody's listening, or it's hard to explain that, she's kind of out of her head, and I'm just trying to keep track of them. I'm trying to make sure my daughter is safe because I might not have enough money to fight for custody right now, or whatever the situation may be. That's what it sounds like to me. I can't come up with $3,000 to $5,000 to spend in court right now for custody, so let me just keep track of them. But she don't want him to keep track of them, so she's fighting him, keeping track of her, because he's trying to make sure his daughter's safe, to the extent of he's getting put in jail for tracking them. And then what do? You get out, you get a phone call at 2 o'clock in the morning, and he got out of bed, he figured out how the hell he was going to get to the police station, and he picked his daughter up, and he's on a bus back to Orlando. And that's where we're at in this story. This man does not need to be attacked. This man did everything in his power to keep his children. Abraham is so sweet, and we do love him. Yeah, he's trying. Yeah, I don't think he has a car, considering that he said he got on the bus back to Orlando. Yeah, I don't think he has a car. ER Florida said the problem was she kept going county to county, hours away from each other, and that's what she would do. That makes sense because she's trying to run from him. We will get those beautiful plushies. Yes, we will. Thank you. You guys are all really sweet and kind. Perfect. Thank you guys for working that out. When I get my P.O. box, I will definitely post it as soon as I can. I appreciate everybody that came together to get that worked out.
Passha gave me hell and put me in a dilemma where I was fighting with her, pulling my daughter back and forth in public because she wouldn't let me take my daughter.
So they get in an argument, and it's physical in public, and she's pulling her daughter away from him, and he's trying to get his daughter away from her. So yeah, that's probably how he ended up in jail.
Okay, I should have called the police and got them involved, but my anger got ahead of me because I just literally found out that my daughter was sleeping in a car a few hours ago, 8 to 9 hours ago. So anybody who gets that information is going to be irate and really want answers of why she keeps doing this. Okay? My anger got the best of me. Orlando police got involved. They took her side because she's a woman. And of course, if she's a woman and she's claiming she's not schizophrenic and she sounds normal, they would believe that. But she went to another state a couple months before that. She just came from California, being not diagnosed with California. Okay?
So why doesn't it say on the paperwork that she has ties to California? Because that's the second time he's brought up California. Is anybody in California looking for Gabby? Mrs. North said, I think it's concerning she acted as if she didn't know it was him at the door. Imagine if she thought someone else was him and handed off her daughter. I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that at all. Abraham said, and we love everyone here as we all contribute something special to the channel. Absolutely. Everybody does. And I appreciate each and every one of you. It does have an Ashley Buzzard vibe to me. And I don't want to say that either, but it sounds just like it. I think because he was dealing with two different areas is where the problem is. That's what ERFLA was saying, that she was going from county to county that are several apart. So, and I mean, you can't, for things like that, it's not going to cross county lines. So the county cops over here aren't going to know, like, you know, county A cops are not going to know what happened in county B, and county B cops are not going to know what happened in county A. And so you have to explain the whole situation over again and try to get them to believe you. And there's a lot of other things at play here that could be taking place that I'm not even going to get into because I'm not a political channel. But I could see how it would be very hard for him to try to get her and take her back. I don't know. You might know more about it than I do. This is Gabby's dad. They know she was here. Okay. Good. I'm glad you're home. Yeah, Ashley Buzzard, right. See, Content said, nope, I live in California and haven't even heard of the case. Only heard about it from Nancy Grace. Well, thank God that that's getting out there. So maybe some people will at least hear about it. There are literally thousands of places, waterways, and woods she could have put her. Yep. We all love Jessica, and all she puts into this channel and bringing us together. And I appreciate y'all being here because you don't have to be here. And I appreciate you guys, each and every one of you. And you guys put a lot into this channel too, and I'm very grateful for that.
The whole time she was missing for years, she's been running from state to state, from New York to California to Florida, okay? And this is why I couldn't get my daughter. You guys, I understand, just blaming and bashing the father, but not knowing all your facts is straight blank disrespectful.
Could you imagine being a father, okay, and you're trying to get custody of your daughter, but meanwhile, she's taking off from Florida to fucking California to Florida, back to California, back to New York. Is anybody looking in New York? I would love to know. That is so hard because it's somebody that's running and that is going to be intentionally homeless. It makes it so hard to locate them. And then with her going state to state, you got to figure out, well, is she in New York right now while I'm trying to get her in court so we can talk about me having custody of my daughter? Is she in California? Like, being homeless, you can't be served. It would be extremely hard to serve somebody. He would literally have to go out, walk the streets until he found her, then call the sheriff's office and say, I have her if you want to serve her. And where do you even begin? Starting in Florida, riding the bus to Orlando. So obviously you don't even have a lot of money. And you've got to figure out if she's in Florida, New York, or California. Like, how do you even go to California to see if she's there? How do you go to New York to see if she's there? I can't imagine the shit that this father has been through. And my heart goes out to him. And I don't think anybody should be getting on to him or being disrespectful to him at all, because a lot of people don't understand how hard it is. And until you've been there, don't. And if you have been there, you wouldn't, because it is so hard to do things like that. I was blessed with my daughter. My family paid $6,000 in 2009. So that was a lot. That was probably like $20,000 today. I don't know exactly, but quite a lot of money to make sure that my ex, the person who groomed me, did not have custody of my daughter. It's ridiculous the amount of money you have to spend, and you have to go to mediation. It's just, it's a lot. You cannot get legal aid to help you get custody of your child. Miss Cindy from sunny South Florida, thank you so much for gifting 5 Speculation Station memberships. That was so very sweet and supportive of you, and I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it so very much. Those memberships went to Nisi, Rosie, Cat Reflects, Bridie Stolen Spirits, and Country Girl Sammy. Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Cindy from sunny South Florida. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you so much for the support. You guys mean the world to me, and I really appreciate each and every one of you. I do. And I'm sorry I get frustrated sometimes, but I would not be anything without you guys. Without you guys coming and hanging out and talking and speculating with me about these cases, I would be talking to myself. And I try to reiterate that. So I appreciate each and every one of you. You are all very unique, thoughtful, and kind, caring people, and I love you all so very much. Thank you so much, Cindy from sunny South Florida. And I will grab the crazy train to pick our new members up. Actually, we need to do the Polar Express because of the snow outside. So we'll do the Polar Express to pick our new members up on the way to Speculation Station. Thank you so very much, Cindy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. That was so super sweet of you. All right. I want to, nope, not do that. I dropped, oh, he's got 7 subscribers now. Thank you guys for subscribing. I really, really appreciate you guys doing that. Oh, how did that, I got it. I got the video. I don't even know how. I just clicked on one of my thumbnails and there it was. All right, I want to drop his GoFundMe when I have the money to when I have the money to get my PO box. I'm gonna donate to this too, because he's gonna need some help going here, there, and everywhere trying to locate his baby. So hold on a minute and let me try to locate his specifically, because I really want to drop that link. And thank you guys for subscribing. I really appreciate that. Yep, here it is. So there's 2, one by Madison Benson. I would not donate to that. I would donate to the one by him, Gordon Terrelonge, which is called Help Find Gabrielle Terrelonge. And this man has raised $0 so far. I'm going to grab share so I can share this with you guys. Like I said, I will donate. When Mr. Speculating gets paid, we have to get caught up on bills ourselves. But then the week after that, I should be able to donate, and I will provide proof of that, as I always do on my page. I shared it like that. Sometimes that is too long to go through, like to where you can click on it. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to drop this too if anybody wants to donate. Like I said, I will, but it'll probably be a week or 2 before I'm able to. So this is to help find Gabrielle Terrelonge by Gordon. And he wrote, my daughter Gabrielle Terrelonge has been missing since July 19th of 2025. July 19th is a new date that we did not have. So July 19th is the last time she was seen. She was reported missing in October. She was last seen at a Florida mall with her mother, Passha Davis, sometime between June 29th and July 19th. As of today, December 29th, 2025, the search for Gabrielle continues, and every day without answers is heartbreaking. Her mother is currently in jail on charges of neglect and has not provided any information to the FBI or police about what happened or where Gabrielle could be. The uncertainty and pain of not knowing where my daughter is has been overwhelming, and I am desperate for any leads that could help bring her home or at least provide answers. I am asking for you to help. I'm asking for your help from the bottom of my heart. I just want to find Gabrielle and understand what happened to her. Any donations contributed will be used to hire a private investigator, as I believe this is the best chance to uncover new information and move the search forward. As a father, I'm doing everything I can to find my daughter, and your support means the world to me. If you can help in any way, please reach out. Anything you can give makes a difference, and even sharing this fundraiser can help bring Gabrielle home. Thank you for your kindness and support. I wish I could like see the pictures. I love that picture of him. I think it's on our thumbnail from yesterday, but he's lifting her up so she can shoot in the basketball goal. So you can see they were very close. I really feel bad for him. My heart goes out. Thank you guys for subscribing. He has 7 subscribers now, and I do appreciate that so much. Yep, I think that's where I got it. Yep, it's on NBC6. So I don't know how it got there. The good Lord above must have known I was looking for it and said, look, here you go. Here it is. So this is the hotel video I wanted to show you guys. Now, this is going to show Passha. This is Passha Davis in a hotel room with Gordon right now.
Are you Gordon Terrelonge?
Passha, you knew me for 15 years. I don't have to tell you what my name is.
According to Gordon Terrelonge, that was a year ago in a South Florida hotel room as he was trying to get his 10-year-old daughter, Gabrielle, and her mother, Passha Davis, off the streets. Gabby was sleeping on a cardboard mat in an alleyway. They arranged for Davis and the child to live with Terrelonge's sister in Port St. Lucie. That arrangement fell apart, though, when Davis took off with Gabby, and Terrelonge says he hasn't seen his daughter since May.
It's been months. I've been stressed out. I've been crying about it.
Police are now offering a $5,000 reward to help find Gabby. They found and arrested Davis last week in Lauderhill without her daughter, and Davis isn't talking.
Am I to understand that allegedly she doesn't know where the child is?
Your Honor, what's understood is she hasn't said anything. It's not known if that's actually accurate or not. She hasn't given any piece of information.
Okay.
But the last time she saw the child, anything.
She's covering something up. This is why she...
See, the grandma's saying that too. She's covering something up. This is why she won't talk about it. It's been 8 months. She sat in jail for 3 or 4 months now, just waiting. They're waiting for her to tell where the child is, and she just won't tell. Something bad has happened. But I hope and pray to God that that child, that Gabrielle is still alive. Why won't she speak on what happened? Reward, I've heard that reward is at $10,000 now, if anybody knows anything. Brown-eyed butterfly, good to see you. I could not imagine not knowing where one of my children are. I know I couldn't either. And she later, after that appearance that we just saw, would tell police that she gave Gabby to the father. The father obviously does not have Gabby, as he's the only one out here advocating. Him and his side of the family are the only ones out here advocating, and she's sitting in jail and could get out if she would just produce Gabby, and isn't. And it is very concerning when we watch that video where she's saying, are you Gordon Terrelonge? If somebody else came up claiming to be Gordon Terrelonge, or she could have even thought it was him in her mind, being out of her head, and demanded that he was Gordon Terrelonge and he needed to take their daughter, and somebody could have taken her. God only knows what could have happened. There were no organized searches by law enforcement. What the fuck? What the fuck? Are you serious? Because I know that he took them around to areas that he knew they frequented. And I mean, again, this is the man that's going to know the information. He's the one that has had to track them for years. So he's the one that's going to know where she could possibly be. And then again, I go back to having the fucking money to go to New York, go to California and look. Why wouldn't law enforcement do searches for her? What if she is hiding somewhere, coming out at night to get food or something because her mama told her that somebody was trying to get her? Oh my God. Almost never searches. I've been involved in a few cases. That's insane, ER Florida. Oh my God. This is insane. I really hope that he can get the help that he needs.
She's not saying anything because something happened that no one can explain, whoever but Gabby, her, and whoever was there.
And that's your biggest fear right now.
Yes, that's all I have. That's the nightmare I'm in. I'm in a nightmare.
Davis was once Baker acted, and despite her erratic behavior, and according to Terrelonge, her history of schizophrenia, he and his sister were unable to gain legal custody of Gabby.
So what you saying you're gonna call the police on me for?
Science.
So you're gonna call the police on me for science and technology?
Spiritual awakening witchcraft.
Spiritual awakening witchcraft?
Yes, that's a thing now.
Terrelonge says that video is a...
Oh my God, y'all. This is not good. Technology, science, spiritual awakenings, and witchcraft is what she's going to call the cops on him for. Yeah, she's schizophrenic as fuck, in my opinion. And I'm not a medical doctor, but that's what it looks like to me. Oh, that would be so cute. Basil and Rocco on adventures. We need to do some stuff. Shocked at what goes on with missing people in Florida. That's insane, ERFLA. Thank you for the email. Yeah, we need to do like a whole little series about Rocco and Basil. That would be super cute. Content said, I worked in family law, and one of the attorneys told me, quote, it's super hard to get custody taken from a mother. She has to be practically turning tricks with the child in the bed. I swear he said that. I believe it because it is. It is. And like if you ain't got damn $3,000 to $7,000 to shit out, I mean, sometimes depending upwards of 20 to just that you have on hand to drop at a dime, getting custody is really, really fucking hard. And this man tried. That's why I get so upset. When we come out here on social media, we have to expect that some people are not going to like us. Some people are going to talk shit, and they might even create hate channels about us as content creators, okay? But this is a man trying to find his daughter, trying to advocate for his daughter. We don't need to be doing that to him. This is the only person out here looking for her. This man is not guilty as fuck, in my opinion. He don't look like he's done a fucking thing wrong. He's out here trying to tell everybody, hey, my baby's missing, please help me. I hate when people attack families and shit like that. Now, if he looked guilty as fuck and sus as fuck, I mean, we could talk about it and do all the things, but he even went to a press conference to answer any questions that anybody had. And we watched that 15-minute presser that he did to answer all the questions. He's come out here on Front Street, said, if you have any questions, I will answer them. Ask me, please help me find her. I don't, the fact that he even had to come out here and make that video pisses me off. Don't be fucking with him. Help him find his baby. I wish I was down there so I could go help him look. I wonder that too, because of the schizophrenia diagnosis. I don't know how old she is. Usually schizophrenia is diagnosed in your early adulthood, but it's a lot more prevalent now with the use of meth, right? And if we talk about Nick Reiner, I would love to see if the psychologist that had recently diagnosed him with schizophrenia, I want to see if they still would have the same diagnosis after he's been off of meth, and like he's been in a facility for 6 months to a year, and for 100% fact he has not used meth in that time, would he still have the same diagnosis? And I would like for this to be done for like 500 to 1,000 people. And I would like to know the statistics on it. How many people that are actively using meth are also actively being diagnosed as schizophrenic, that we know for a fact are using both in tandem? And when they haven't been using meth for 6 months to a year, are they still going to get the same diagnosis as schizophrenia? Because I really think there's a correlation. I really, really do. I watched a lady on here with schizophrenia. She has a pretty normal life when she's on her meds and they're working, but she's got videos of her having full-blown arguments with her hallucinations. I could not imagine. I could not imagine. He was literally searching old abandoned hotels and et cetera on his own. Yep. And we saw pictures of that.
Perfect example of Davis's instability. He says, and police verified this, that when Davis was picked up last week, detectives let him question her in their presence.
So I started breaking down and crying in front of her. And I said to her, our daughter is missing. We need to find our daughter. And she just, no reaction. Just no reaction.
Hold on a minute. Let's go back. I want to try.
Are you going Alan Terrelonge?
Passha, you knew me for 15 years. I don't have to tell you what my name is.
According to Gordon,
I wanted to see that and then the other one so we can see the full video. He said, Passha, you've known me for 15 years. I don't have to tell you what my name is. And that one, which I'll back it up, I want to just get the video.
Are you Gordon Alan Terrelonge?
Passha, you knew me for 15 years. I don't have to tell you what my name is.
And then where's the other one? There it is.
Oh, what you saying you're going to call the police on me for?
Science.
So you're going to call the police on me for science and technology?
Spiritual awakening witchcraft.
Spiritual awakening witchcraft?
Yes, that's a thing now.
Terrelonge says that.
Yeah, that's not good. That's some kind of psychotic shit. And again, it's giving Melodee Buzzard vibes. Oh my God. CM, I know you said something. Oh yeah. In a state of psychosis, but already having been diagnosed with schizophrenia makes it a lot worse. Yeah. And then if you're self-medicating and you're using math, because if you are schizophrenic and having these hallucinations, and let's say you're a person that feels like it's not a hallucination or a mental illness, you feel like you're more in tune with the world and you're able to hear things and see things that other people can't, and you're self-medicating with meth, which is going to obviously, in my opinion, and I'm not a medical doctor, intensify those hallucinations and thought processes. And you're thinking that the cops and medical professionals and everything like that just want you to shut that off basically, and you can't have communication with this yourself on a different spiritual plane, like where you're getting messages from these entities or whatever, these hallucinations that you feel like are helping you and guiding you, and basically you're special because you have these abilities to talk to these people. So then you intensify with the math because to you, that helps you communicate with them better, but it's really making everything worse. I could just see how it's going all the way down a road that we don't need to go down. And that's really scared. It's a white people cooking in the woods thing here. Really? Yeah, you can. It's so sad. It's an awful disease. A patient of mine used to close the kitchen window at the group home. I asked why. She said people in cars driving by were telling her horrible things. Oh my God. Helping homeless. Drop the link in chat, Cindy, my love. Yeah. Hey, Max. I feel bad that no one helped mom or daughter. Yeah. I mean, but what do you do? Like, she's actively running from him. This man did everything that he could to keep her and to locate her. I mean, I don't know what else he could have done. All right. Hold on a minute. It closed out my court documents. We're going to go back to the court documents. There's so many court documents. Like, we could be on here for hours just reading all these court documents. All right. So I think we're on this one. Yeah. Acknowledgement of appointment and notice of assistant public defender assignment. So this is Gordon Weeks being assigned as the public defender. The defendant has filed an affidavit of indigency. The clerk, based on its review, has conducted inquiry into the defendant's financial status based on information provided the defendant in the application and criteria prescribed. So if she's indigent, how the fuck did she get the $10,000 to bond out where they just turned right around and arrested her again to keep her in jail for a little bit longer. Thank you for sharing that. My best friend has a brother in high school, had a brother who was schizophrenic, and at 19, he jumped off the top of a house and shattered both his legs. He's been in a group home setting since then. That was 40 years ago. Wow, that's really sad. Damn. There might be clues to her hangouts or associates in the police reports, or maybe even body cam. There might be. Yeah, she is in custody. But she was bonding out beforehand on a $10,000 bond, and they were going to put her on ankle monitoring. And then when that happened, the police turned right back around and were like, no, ma'am, you're going right back to jail until you tell us where your daughter is. And that's when she got hit with the neglect charge. No, the neglect charge was the $100,000 bond, so I don't know. She's in custody, though. That just tells us basically about that she was indigent and that she got a public defender. So this is a demand for discovery, demand for jury trial. Comes now the defendant, by and through the undersigned attorney, and respectfully demands, highlighted and underlined, the state attorney's office and the municipal prosecutor's office within 15 days from the filing of the pleading pursuant to the codes, disclose defense counsel and permit defense counsel to inspect, copy, test, photograph following information, the names and addresses of all persons known to the prosecutor to have information which may be relevant to the offense charged, the statement of any person who is named whose name is furnished in compliance with the preceding paragraph, any written or recorded statement and the substance of any oral statements made by the defendant and known to the prosecution or their agents, together with the name and address of each witness. Basically discovery, any written and recorded statements and the substance of any oral statement made by an accomplice or co-defendant, any tangible papers or objects obtained from or belong to the defendant when under circumstances and said seizure was conducted, documents relating to search and seizure, written and recorded statements and the substance of any oral statements. We've got that. Whether seizure was made pursuant to search warrant. So they might, with this one, with 6, any tangible papers or objects which were obtained from or belong to the defendant. And then it has A, B, C, D, and E are all subsections related to a search and seizure. So that tells me that they're going to try to say that the search and seizure was illegal. I bet that's something that they try to do. Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, her first arrest was for shoplifting. I think it was October 17th, and then on the, but ERL said on October 29th, and then on November 4th she got rearrested, and then got the high bond, and that was for child neglect. The first arrest was only a shoplifting charge, right? But okay, if we go back to the documents, which I could be misunderstanding. Hold on a minute. Gotta find it again. Yeah, this one. So this one is from the 5th, right? And it says bond is set as $100,000, and it says the defendant shall be placed on level 2 electronic monitoring at a rate of $5 per day. Defendant shall submit to a substance abuse and mental health evaluation within 10 calendar days from release and submit to any recommended follow-up treatment. And the defendant may not consume alcohol or illegal drugs and submit to random tests monthly. The defendant shall not have contact with Gabby, the minor victim, right? So, and the police were talking about she bonded out and then was immediately rearrested. So is this just giving us information on if she was to bond out on the $100,000 bond, or was it saying she did bond out and then she got rearrested? I guess this is just information on the $100,000 bond for the charge of neglect of a child without great bodily harm, and saying what has to happen, but she hasn't bonded out on that. The one she bonded out on was the misdemeanor shoplifting charge. So I might have had it wrong. That makes more sense. Those deprivation of liberties means health professionals can legally force you to take medicines and mental health care, whether you agree or not, either long or short term, depending on what's needed. I wonder if it's the same in America. She has an attachment to produce the child. Okay. Those are all just conditions in case she did get released. Okay. Okay. Makes sense. Thank you. That's the creepiest clown shit ever. King really did. Interesting. Okay. And then number 7 is whether the state has any material information which has been provided by an informant witness. So I think somebody might have said something. I mean, because it would be normal to put that in there, right? But then we've got subsection A, B, C, and D, which makes me feel like it's specific to this case. So maybe somebody has said something. And it says the substance of any statement allegedly made by the defendant about which the informant witness may testify, summary of the criminal history record of the informant witnesses, time and place under which the defendant's alleged statement was made, whether that informant witness has received or expects to receive anything in exchange for his testimony. The term anything includes but is not limited to any deal, which that could be normal. Sounds normal, but I'm wondering if they're talking about the dad. Promise, inducement, pay, leniency, immunity, personal advantage, vindication, or other benefit. The informant witness's prior history of cooperation, whether there has been electronic surveillance. So basically, they want them to produce the Lord have mercy, the document. Discovery. They want a transcript of any advisory preliminary hearings held, whether there has been a search and seizure of any documents. I mean, this is all just par of the course. Document entered into court demanding discovery. Has any victim received or made application? Yeah. Any evidence relating to impeachment motive or bias to include, but not limited to, whether there has been any promise of leniency. Yeah. The defendant hereby asserts entitlement to a jury of 12 under the 6th Amendment. So this basically lets us know that they want discovery and she's taking it to a jury trial. What document was that? 10A? Oh, it doesn't tell me. Hold on. File defense demand for discovery is what that's called. Yep. Review of motor vehicles property records. Let's see what this is. Record vehicle of a 2012 Nissan. And it's got a satisfied lien and there's no property found. Passha Davis had the record of a 2012 Nissan. She didn't know any money on it, but it was not found. I wonder where that's at. Do we think the child, she could have given the child and the car away? Yeah. That document they entered in the beginning seemed like they wanted everything sealed. I think discovery will be interesting, but yeah, it could very well be sealed. And I hope it's not, because I would love to see it. Okay. This is the document she filed to be declared indigent. Passha Davis. She says she has no motor vehicle, so that was specifically what I wanted to see, if she admitted to having the motor vehicle. So she just answered no to everything, and that declared her indigent when they checked the records to see if she had it. So this is the state's instructions sheet, and it was filed on December 2nd. She's got the charge of neglect of a child without great bodily harm, removing minors from the state, conceal a minor during dependency or investigation, false information to law enforcement during investigation. Those are her charges, that because they've hit her with more charges. since she went to jail. And those are her charges as of December 2nd, which tells me that they're trying really hard to get her to admit it. But what the fuck do you do if they won't admit it, if they won't tell you what's going on? So this is going to give us some more information. In the name and by the authority of the state of Florida, count 1, Harold F. Pryor, state attorney of the 17th Judicial Court of Florida and the county of Broward, by and through the undersigned state attorney, charges that Passha Davis, on or about and between the 30th day of June 2025 and the 29th day of October 2025 in the county and state aforesaid, while being a caregiver to Gabby child, did willfully or by culpable negligence neglect Gabby by failing or omitting to provide the care, supervision, and services necessary to maintain the physical and mental health of Gabby, included but not limited to food, nutrition, clothing, shelter, supervision, medicine, and medical services that a prudent person would consider essential for the well-being of Gabby, including but not limited to failing to report Gabby as a missing child without causing great bodily harm, permanent disability, or permanent disfigurement to Gabby. Count 2. On or about the 30th day of October in the county and state aforesaid, she did knowingly and willfully conceal the location of Gabby, a minor, during the pendency of an investigation, action, or proceeding concerning the alleged abuse or neglect of said minor, after having received actual or constructive notice of the pendency of such investigation, action, or proceeding, and without the permission of the state agency or court in which the investigation, action, or proceeding is pending. Count 3, on or about the 30th day of October and the 4th of November 2025 in the county and state aforesaid, did knowingly and willfully give false information to law enforcement, to wit, the officer who was conducting a missing person investigation and felony criminal investigation with the intent to mislead the officer. Okay, so she gave the false information with the attempt to mislead them. See, this is telling me that it might not be public. Pursuant to Florida Rule of General Practice and Judicial Administration, I hereby certify that the confidential information within the document is precisely located at the body of information, instruction sheet, and probable cause affidavit. I think they're going to try to seal it, which isn't good. I want to see it. Yep. The next document is file notice of confidential information within the court filing. Pursuant to the Florida rules and statutes, records relating to dependency matters, termination of parental rights, guardians ad litem, child abuse, neglect, and abandonment are being withheld, basically. Information which reveals the identity of the victim of the crime of child abuse and or child neglect. So maybe they're just withholding that information. I don't know. I think they're going to try to keep it from being public. This says Kappa's image. Oh, okay. So that's telling us her bond is $500 for giving false information to law enforcement on a missing person and concealing a minor contrary to state agency. There is no bond. So she can't bond out. Let me see what y'all are saying. This case is still open, so yeah, it won't be until something goes on. Things regarding certain topics, that doesn't seem to be the situation. Yeah. Yeah, they're not. So maybe they're not sealing anything related to Passha, but of course they're going to seal documents related to Gabby because she's a minor. Oh my God, yeah. I hope nobody's got busted pipes. Yeah, allow your taps to run. Make sure your taps aren't frosted. I get upset at these people. If you have an addiction problem, then give that child to someone who can take care of them. It's not their fault. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Boom, 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 bop, bam.
I agree. Has your dad tried putting the water in buckets outside in old tires insulated with straw? That's interesting. We had the same issue with documents regarding Maddie. Her documents were sealed, but Stefan's weren't. Yep. That's how it's going to be. Yep. You're exactly right. That's exactly what they're going to do. Yeah, and there's no way I can even get through all of these. I mean, there's just so much on it. So this is motion for an appointment of expert with request for competency determination within 20 days. The defendant, Passha Davis, et cetera, to appoint an expert to examine the defendant's competency to proceed and hold an evidentiary hearing to determine the defendant's competency. As grounds, therefore, states following: the defendant is currently charged with child neglect, willful or culpable negligence without great bodily harm, removing a minor, pendency of dependency proceeding, and false information to law enforcement. On or about November 20th of 2025, the defendant was evaluated for competency in another case by Dr. Michael. Dr. Michael submitted a report which includes a finding that the defendant is incompetent to proceed. The defendant has signed a release, and undersigned has disclosed that report to the court and state. It requires the court to appoint no more than 3 experts to examine the defendant for competency to proceed and hold a hearing to determine competency within 20 days of the filing of the motion. So it requires the court to appoint no fewer than 2 experts by committing a defendant or takes other actions authorized by the chapter of Florida Rules of Criminal Procedure unless the parties stipulate to 1 expert. In addition, because the defendant has waived their confidentiality and disclosed the report of their retained expert, Dr. Michael is now a court expert, and the court cannot appoint more than 2 additional experts. The rule requires court to hold a hearing to determine competency within 20 days. The defendant respectfully requests the court to transfer the matter to the Division FC and appoint an expert to evaluate defendant's competency to proceed. And if the expert finds the defendant incompetent to proceed, to evaluate the appropriate treatment and placement for the defendant. The defendant further requests this court hold a hearing to determine if the defendant's competency within 20 days of receipt of this motion. I wonder if we'll get that. Probably not. This one was also on the 5th, and notice of assignment of public defender. Public defender notified the court of an undersigned assistant public defender counsel. Okay, they're just saying they're going to have another public defender on the case, an assistant. So now we go to December 8th. And like I said, this is just for the felony child charges. It's not even for the misdemeanor charges. Okay, so a probable cause to believe the defendant has committed and shall be held for the offenses of removing a minor from state or concealing a location, and obstructing a criminal investigation, false or information to law enforcement. No victim contact, all previous conditions remain. There's a $100,000 bond and a $50,000 bond, and they have to admit to random testing, GPS level 2, random drug testing, and to be GPS located. That was magistrate findings order. Probable cause, that's what it's called. I do believe. Yeah, that's what it's labeled, but that don't seem to be what it is to me. We get documents in a few minutes where she is, oh, thank you, YouTube Bad Actors. I really appreciate that so very much. Hey, Anchovy Fish, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Yeah, these are in chronological order. We're going to get some in a few minutes where she's refusing to come to court, refusing calendar call. It's pretty interesting. So this is the state of Florida. Passha Davis, the calendar call for February 19th at 9 a.m. is when she'll be in court again. Oh, no. Yeah. But when she was called, she waived and said she was not guilty. Done in order. Okay. So she went to court on December 8th. She waived her right for a hearing and said she's not guilty. She refused to go to court. And her next court date is February 19th of 2026 at 9 a.m. There's more interesting documents. We're probably getting into them right now. Yep. Court notification of inmate's refusal is this document right here. On December 8th, Passha Davis, court notification of inmate refusal. Defendant was told by the Broward County Sheriff's Office witnessing deputy and Broward County Sheriff's Office witnessing supervisor, officer in charge, or OIC, that court appearance is mandatory and the defendant must attend the scheduled court proceeding today. Defendant disobeyed the sheriff's office order and refused to go to court. Defendant stated below as the reason for the refusal, quote, "I'm not going to court." And that happened the 8th day of December 2025 at 5 a.m. I mean, I would think that they could grab your ass up and make you go to court. But, yep, that's her document that she said, hell no, we won't go. Yeah. That's what it looks like. Hold on. Nope. I can't make it really small. But yeah, that's a search team over there behind me. Okay. That's December 6th. We were on December 8th. Okay. So I think both of these. Now we're at filed amended notice of assistant public defender assigned. So they assigned an assistant public defender. Recommit rearrest paperwork is what this is. So they stamped added a charge here. So she's charged with, where's count 1? Count 2 is removing a minor from state or concealing location. Count 3 is obstructing a criminal investigation by giving false information to law enforcement. Let's see. So her bond is $500 for the false information to law enforcement. And then this is the document. Charge 3. This is her bond for charge 3, which was giving false info to law enforcement. Bond set at the second there's one at $100,000, there's one at $50,000, and I think this one's $500. So she'd have to have a shit ton of money to get out, but she can't get out on that one charge where she won't produce her minor. That she's being held on and won't say anything, which is concerning. Then we have on December 8th, I do believe. No, December 29th, they filed a notice of a hearing. This is for Passha Davis, hospital status 1 through 30. Defendant's presence is required and mandatory. The failure of defendant to appear on the date and time noted herein shall result in the estature of any bond and warranty for the defendant's arrest, done in order on December 29th. Defense attorney by mail. Please appear by Zoom. I don't know what that is. Some of these documents confuse me. Okay. This one is defendant meets criteria. So, criminal order, Passha Davis, all counts. The parties stipulate that the defendant meets criteria for hospitalization, and the court commits the defendant to the Department of Children and Family. The defendant has a mental illness, has no insight into her mental illness, and is not taking medication in custody, and is a danger to herself or others. There is no less restrictive placement available in the community. Dr. Michael orally stated that the defendant meets the criteria for hospitalization, and if he evaluated the defendant for a felony charge, he would have opined that she met criteria for hospitalization. So I guess she was hospitalized on the 29th of December, which is interesting. She needs a full mental evaluation prior to court, probably. That's what I'm thinking. When they won't produce the minor is always bad news. Yeah, YouTube bad actors, this is giving Melodee Buzzard vibes for sure. Yeah, not that I'm aware of. Well, we'll finish this out real quick, and then we'll go to the misdemeanor one. But not that I'm aware of. We're going to look more into the misdemeanor one, though, in just a minute. Because we've only got a couple more to look at over here. This is all for the fact that she won't produce her daughter, which makes me happy, actually, because it lets me know that they're trying really, really hard to get her to speak on it. So she's incompetent due to mental illness, and the defendant is committed to Department of Children and Family Services. That's 29th of December. When they do that, they have to submit a shit ton of documents. All right. So this one says the state of Florida versus Passha Davis. It's a notification of inmate refusal. Defendant was told by the Broward County Sheriff's witnessing deputy and Broward County Sheriff's Office witnessing supervisor that court appearance is mandatory and that she must attend. Defendant stated that she pled no contest in open court. They're not listening to her. She said she's not coming back. And that was the 29th of December at 12. So she's saying, I pled no contest. You're not listening to me. I'm not coming back, is what she said. When they called to try to make her go to court. And then we have another inmate refusal. I guess it's the same copy. They might have had to submit 2 copies, but it's the same one. Now we've got a court date notice. The date. This was submitted on December 31st, but it says a different date because this one confused me. So this is official court notice of January 30th, 2026. I guess that's the new court date. Or they need a document back by then. You are hereby notified that the following cases have been set for hearing. Notice to appear number, and then it says Hospital D, which I'm going to assume is defendant. Zoom hearing information to be held online through the following link. On January 30th of 2026 at 8:15 a.m. Look, we got the link. I had to get with Abraham. I'm wondering if we can watch this link and watch the court hearing. If I can get that Zoom link and enter it in and put it on the computer, and we can watch the court hearing on the 30th in a couple of days. Abraham over here getting mad. This isn't far from Casey Anthony, where she's missing, said ERFLA. Mrs. North said they'll make her take her meds in a mental hospital and she can be found able to testify on her own behalf. I hope so. Igloos are surprisingly warm from what I've heard. Yep, me too. So she's required to appear via Zoom. The hiring of an attorney is an important decision. That's just normal shit. I wonder, like I said, if we can get in to that. I'm going to try. I'm going to look it up and try. Okay. Now we're filing order of commitment to the Florida State Hospital. Okay, order adjudging defendant incompetent to proceed and commitment to the Department of Children and Families. This cause having come to me and being heard before the court, and the questions of competency in this cause is to proceed, having been raised in accordance with the provisions and Florida statutes. The court appointed Dr. Matthew, psychologist, to examine the defendant and report to the court whether the defendant is competent to proceed, and if not, on any recommended treatment for the defendant to attain competence to proceed. The court, having received written reports, ordered and judged that the defendant is incompetent to proceed with the trial, pretrial hearings, entry of a plea, and sentencing. The defendant meets the criteria for commitment to a treatment facility. The defendant is hereby committed to the Department of Children and Families to be placed in a mental health treatment facility. The mental health unit is directed to forthwith forward a certified copy of this order, along with copies of any written reports submitted to the court by experts appointed by the court relating to the issues of competency and need for treatment. Copies of any other psychiatric, psychological, or social work reports submitted to the court relative to the mental state of the defendant, a copy of the charging instrument, and all supporting affidavits or other documents used in determination of probable cause to adult forensic admission at my family's. In addition, a complete package shall be provided to Broward Regional Health Planning Council. Upon notification of available bed space by the Department of Children and Families, the Broward County Sheriff's Office on the date specified shall forthwith transport and deliver the defendant to a treatment facility designated by the department, together with a certified copy of this order. The department, through the administrator of the facility to which the defendant is admitted, shall report directly to this court with copies to the state and defense attorneys on the issue of competency to proceed and the need for continued commitment as provided. I wonder if that means if they determine she's well enough, if she'll be able to just walk out of the mental health facility. Yeah, the child went missing. The last time the child was seen was between June 29th and July 19th. Sometime in that time period. A lot of the news agencies are saying June 19th. And she wasn't reported missing until October. Yeah. So in the event defendant's presence is required at any hearing in this cause, the court shall issue the order to transport, directing the Broward County Sheriff's Office to resume custody and transport the defendant back to the jurisdiction of the court. In the case of the defendant found incompetent to proceed with the trial of this case, the requirements are temporarily suspended. The department's ordered to place defendant within 15 days of receipt of a complete packet. Court retains jurisdiction in this case, and the defendant shall not be discharged or released from commitment with the Department of Children and Families without further order of the court. Okay, so she can't just be released. But they got to get her competent to stand trial. And when she becomes competent, will she admit to where the child is? This was filed on January 5th. It's accepting, saying that the defendant's not competent to proceed. And then we've got one more document on this these felony charges. No. Maybe. Yeah, one more. That was the document we just read. She has a hearing, and we got the Zoom link again for January 30th. Just in a couple of days. 6 days on next Friday. She has a hearing. Yeah, I'm going to try to watch that hearing, but I don't know what information we'll get. All right, so this is the misdemeanor, right? That was the mental health court felony. And then if we click, oh, sorry. If we click on the misdemeanor and scroll down, there's all of these cases. All of these, right? DL record image, file document is locked. Psychological evaluation is locked. Record image is locked. Record image is locked. Record image is locked. What is post office return mail? This might have got returned after she got sent to the mental health facility. Oh, damn it. I closed out of that thing. Hold on. Let me pull it back up. Hold on. Okay, so here, if you type her name into the clerk of courts and we click here, it gives us the list, and then we can scroll down and see all the documents. Yeah, she posted bond because it says here bond posted. There's 2 documents on it. She only had to pay $100 to bond out on that charge, so she did, but then she got immediately taken back to jail on the $100,000 bond, and now she doesn't have a bond. If you move and don't change your address or don't do forward mail, your mail gets returned after a year. That's for the sage there. I'm about to light it. I bet you'd run out of here if I lit that sage. Demon. You're welcome. Yes. All right, so she did definitely bond out on the misdemeanor charge. Got some arrest paperwork. I'm just skipping through this one. I don't have enough time to read all of them, but you guys can find it. False information given to law enforcement, resisting an officer, obstructing without violence. Damn. Yeah, I gotta do a cleansing, but I gotta be in the right headspace to do that. Y'all, I don't know what to think at this point. I'm glad she's getting the help that she needs. Yes. Look, I got it. My kids love sage. My daughter got the sage. Hold on a minute. And I have a thing that I made that has feathers on it that my feathers are messed up, but these are actual feathers that I found out in the wild and stuff, or from my birds that I've had in the past. Anyway, that's what you use to keep it smoking. But my daughter had this earlier, and so that stuff was sitting there. She was burning the sage because she likes sage. She likes the way it smells. All right. That's the eyes from the green. Mine? No. I get makeup in my eyes. I wish I did have some green there. I'm going to try to get a medical card. So I might eventually have some. I wish it was. I wish I did have some green to smoke right now. But I don't. I get makeup. I put my eyeliner like on the bottom of my eye right here, and it like gets in my eyes. Yeah, I love it. I have a bunch of it that I want to burn. I hope that she admits where her daughter is eventually. Like, I hope she gets the help that she needs and we're able to find Gabby. because this man deserves to have his daughter back. All right? I should post pictures of the golden and silver spider that looked up at me when I tried taking sage twigs off a bush. That would be interesting. Okay, so we're gonna watch this video to close out, just to remind you guys, and I'm gonna put her missing poster up again to try to share this information out. I don't know what to do, but I want to help somehow.
Are you Gordon Allen Terrelonge?
Passha, you knew me for 15 years. I don't have to tell you what my name is.
According to Gordon Terrelonge, that was a year ago in a South Florida hotel room as he was trying to get his 10-year-old daughter, Gabrielle, and her mother, Passha Davis, off the streets. Gabby was sleeping on a cardboard mat in an alleyway. They arranged for Davis and the child to live with Terrelonge's sister in Port St. Lucie. That arrangement fell apart, though, when Davis took off with Gabby, and Terrelonge says he hasn't seen his daughter since May.
It's been months. I've been stressed out. I've been crying about it.
Police are now offering a $5,000 reward to help find Gabby. They found and arrested Davis last week in Lauderhill without her daughter.
So allegedly, that reward has been up to $10,000 now.
And Davis isn't talking.
Am I to understand that allegedly she doesn't know where the child is?
Your Honor, what's understood is she hasn't said anything. It's not known if that's actually accurate or not. She hasn't given any piece of information.
Okay.
But the last time she saw the child, anything.
She's covering something up. This is why she's not saying anything, because something happened that no one can explain. Whoever.
That's not good. And a lot of people are saying that too. It smells like church. That's cool. I think I have some in this box here that has sage in it. I'll have to burn it and see it. Yeah, sleeping outside. They were in Florida, thank God. But yeah, sleeping outside with a small child.
But Gabby, her, and whoever was there.
And that's your biggest fear right now.
Yes, that's my. That's all I have. That's the nightmare I'm in. I'm in a nightmare.
Davis was once Baker acted, and despite her erratic behavior, and according to Terrelonge, her history of schizophrenia, he and his sister were unable to gain legal custody of Gabby.
So what you saying you're going to call the police on me for?
Science.
So you're going to call the police on me for science and technology?
Spiritual awakening witchcraft.
Spiritual awakening witchcraft?
Yes, that's a thing now.
Terrelonge says that video is a perfect example of Davis's instability. He says, and police verified this, that when Davis was picked up last week, detectives let him question her in their presence.
So I started breaking down and crying in front of her, and I said to her, our daughter's missing. We need to find our daughter. And she just, no reaction. Just no reaction.
Damn. How could she not have a reaction at all to, our daughter's missing, please help me find our daughter? So again, this is Gabrielle Patricia Terrelonge, missing since October 29th, possibly earlier. That was the day she was reported missing. She was last seen June or July of 2025 in Margate, Florida. She, her date of birth was June 25th of 2015. She has black hair. She's a female. She's African American. She weighs 100 pounds. She has brown eyes. She is 4'8". Terrelonge has ties to South Carolina, South and Central Florida, and may be homeless. And we heard him talk about also having ties to New York and California. The Miami FBI field office and the Margate Police Department in Florida are asking the public's assistance of locating 10-year-old Gabrielle Patricia Terrelonge. She was reported missing in late October of 2025. After it was discovered the girl's mother had been incarcerated in Florida. Law enforcement authorities are seeking any information about Gabrielle's current location or condition. I hope she gets brought home. Her eyes are ginormous. She does got big, beautiful eyes. That's not a thing. Yeah, the witchcraft and technology and science and spiritual awakening. I think so, Abellis. I'm going to try that. Bad news. Oh, you're talking about when they had the video of Passha. Yeah, her eyes were really big. But if she in her head thinks that he's doing these things against her, then I could understand why she's probably freaked out and zooted, kind of. That makes sense. All right, y'all, I'm going to go for the day. I want to thank you guys for being here and for hanging out and for checking out the snow with me. I'm going to put out a video later, hopefully, of us hanging out and feeding the geese and playing in the snow. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I appreciate the support. I appreciate your kindness and for you guys being here every day. Curious Christine did become a member, and I do appreciate you for that. And thank you for the support. Indy sent a $4.99 super chat or super sticker. I do appreciate that so very much. That was so very sweet of you. And then Cindy from sunny South Florida gifted 5 speculation station memberships, and I appreciate that. That was amazing of all 3 of you. So let me drop the amazing Basil to say thank you again.
Amazing!
Thank you again to Curious Christine, Indy, and Cindy. And thank you guys for being here. Be safe, everyone. Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me as we talked about this case today. I do have a FOIA in on this case on Passha Davis. Hopefully I'll get that back soon, and I will try to view the hearing for Passha on the 30th so that we can have it. Thank you guys. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Y'all be safe out there. Hang out, play in the snow, but don't get too cold. And I will see y'all on Monday. I'll probably see you here and there. I'll probably make some more posts and things like that. But other than that, I'll see you guys back here on Monday. Stay safe and have a good night. Bye.